second. Hi, it's Dr. Dina again, and I was just turning my camera off from the Facebook Live, and somebody came up to me and says, we have another person that wants to speak. I said, okay, we'll have to put it back on. So this is Ricky, and he connected with me on LinkedIn. So maybe you can tell me that story of how you heard about the event and why you're here, and when you first noticed that your freedoms were being infringed upon.
Thanks, Dina. It's great. So first of all, it's amazing that you're here, that we're doing this. We can see there are people here banding together, coming together, speaking their truth, recognizing that we all deserve to experience our own freedom. That's what this is really about. And for me, I recognized that my freedom was being taken away when I recognized just how much illusion there really is in the world. You know, we're led to believe that we're just these human beings with limitations, and that our traumas and our illnesses and all of these immune system issues are really something that's scary and can really affect us, but we're actually so much more powerful than we're led to believe. We're so much more powerful. These characters we're playing, me, Ricky Goodall, and whoever you are, these characters we're playing, that's not who we are. That's who we've been programmed to be since we were born. And we have the ability to not only fight off a virus, but to fight off all of the challenges we face as a human civilization. We are far more powerful than we're led to believe. And our freedom being taken away from us is just another reflection of that freedom we're taking away from ourselves by not recognizing how powerful we are. And I think that what's happening in the world right now is a true uprising. Waking up to who we really are, remembering how powerful we are. We knew it thousands of years ago. The shamans know it all over the planet. The healers know it all over the planet. The miracle workers that still exist to this day and have existed for thousands of years, they know how powerful we are. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up to who we are. That's why we're here. That's why we're rising up as a civilization right now. That's why we're not willing to take any more illusions and darkness and fear. It's not real. The only thing that's real is the truth and the light and the truth that exists inside of each one of us. And we can feel it. We've all got a voice. And there are many of us who have known this darkness that's happening in the world for a long time. And we've suffered individually or in small groups of 1 or 2 or 3. But look at us in the world now. Now we're rising up as large groups of people, coming together as a tribe again. We were separated by our society, by our consciousness, dropping into darker periods. But now we're coming together again. And it's time to wake up. Thanks, Dina.
I'm speechless. That was so powerful. And it takes a lot to make me speechless, let me tell you. But that was really wonderful. I'm so glad I turned back on the video. When did you first notice that our freedoms were being infringed upon, or your freedoms?
Yeah, so I spent most of my life as a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And at the peak of my career, I hit a rock bottom, and I started figuring out all of these traumas I experienced as a child, everything from sexual abuse to near-death experiences and severe childhood abuse and alcoholism and addiction and all of it. And as I dug into my own healing, I recognized that all the traumas I experienced were passed on through our society. They were passed on through generations and generations and generations of people being abused in our society. My family grew up on social assistance, lower class, and the lower class and people on social assistance are led to believe that their addictions are their problem and that they need to take antidepressants and go to detox and go to this counseling and psychology that's just not proven to work. There are ways that we can heal ourselves, used all over the planet. When I started to recognize that the healing that I needed, I was going to find in South America, in Mexico, in Peru, in California, and other places in the world, I realized, wow, we have an illusion being put in front of us. There's a curtain over our eyes. The medical system is not here to help us cure our illnesses. It's here to help us treat the symptoms that society created for us in the first place. Now, I don't think that there's any one particular person to blame or any groups of people to blame. I think it's part of our consciousness going through a dark period, and now we're waking up. But it is time to wake up. And so I recognize when the healing that I was told to take antidepressants, and I was told to go to counseling, and that I'd always be broken, and I'd always be sick, and that I'd never heal, and I'd have to learn to live with my illnesses. That's when I realized that my freedom was being taken away, because that's just not who we are. We're far more powerful than that. And when I started to recognize that this is a common narrative, not just with illness, but with education, with employment, with social classes, these are all stories that we've been fed and sold, and that's not really who we are. We're so much more than that. And you know, there's a benefit to keeping people thinking that they're less than, and keeping them thinking like they're victims, because they're much easier to control and much easier to orchestrate to do different things in their lives. But again, there's nobody to blame. It's just time to wake up. It's It's time to wake up to who we are. There's no one to fight against except our own darkness, our own ignorance that we have inside of us. And when we heal the evil and the ignorance and the pain that we inherited from our family and they inherited from their family, and it goes all the way up the line, then we begin to see the healing happening all around us. And that's what I believe is happening in this world. And I think that our freedoms being taken away is the greatest gift that we've been ever been given, because it's going to wake up the warrior inside of us, and we'll never have those freedoms taken away ever again.
So powerful. Thank you. Thanks. So that was absolutely well worth putting the live video back on for. Not too many. I'm sort of choked up and speechless. But this is the power in the small group of people that are here. These people understand kind of what's happening on a global level, and comment, and you'll be enriched too. I mean, when you're in the presence of that inspiration, it's hard not to be inspired, isn't it? So I am here at City Hall, and this is a celebration of our rights and freedoms. This is video number 2. So video number 1 should be further down on the page, where I went around and interviewed people. And as I said, I had just turned off the live Facebook video and ready to kind of get ready and pack up our signs. And someone came up to me and said, "You need to interview this guy." So Ricky, it was certainly well worth that. So we're here again every week at City Hall to celebrate, to hold space for our freedom and our justice and truth and liberty. And we'd invite you to come and spend time with us, 12 o'clock noon, City Hall here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. This is a Canadian-wide event, so every major city in Canada will have this, likely at their City Hall or at their legislative buildings. So if you need connections to that, you can connect with me, and I can put you on to who might be hosting in your area. If there's no one hosting yet, you might be it. But again, City Hall, Halifax, Nova Scotia, celebrating our rights and freedoms. And as Ricky said, it's when we have it challenged, are we encouraged, inspired, and enthusiastic to stand up for what we have? So come join us next week. This is Dr. Dina Churchill inviting you to reach for the stars, envision, and achieve your personal best. And most of all, enjoy the journey.